Yo, welcome back to another episode of On the Spot Sports. I'm Jack, and today's episode, I am bringing on a beauty, a special guest co-host who's probably been on 4, 5, 6 times already, but we love having him on. Aaron Shields, Shieldsy, how we doing?
Decky, I'm doing well, buddy. Just another day's another fantastic Monday here in Colorado. It's not too bad.
Oh yeah, absolutely love bringing you on, especially like we always get like we just get talking and talking. This we could have an episode for like 2 hours, so it's good to get you on and good talk some NHL with you because we definitely have had a lot of NHL news and ever since like the trade
Yeah,
deadline and everything, like the league has looked a lot different since then. We have teams that are on a wagon right now, like the Boston Bruins, and we got a lot of goalies specifically that's going on new teams, new journeys, and literally having a great season so far with that new team.
absolutely, 100%. Yeah, it's been shook up a little bit, and I think this year, as far as the last or the second half of the season, here we are, March, and almost now, shit, 2 weeks. April is just around the corner, so yeah, it should be good. Should be interesting to talk about that for sure.
Yeah, but how have things been for you? I know you've been busy and everything. Like, are you still coaching and everything as well?
Yeah, man, it's busy's good. In some ways, it's yeah, just hockey. My U14 had state 2 weekends ago, so that was good. They won the state championship, so I'm proud of them for
Not a
that.
big
That was
deal.
not a big deal. Or ever heard of me or what? No, it's pretty cool because a lot of people thought I couldn't do it, obviously, because I wanted to coach after I got done playing myself, at the MWHL and BD, but it's cool to kind of like learn from my experiences and my time in the 6x4 and playing at that high level, and that kind of translated into coaching, and then the kid that I'm coaching, Gavin, he's my 14. Me and his dad had a nice little conversation at the very beginning before we even, talked about, because they were looking at other goalie coaches in Colorado and so forth and so on. And, the pricing was one thing, and two was, or you want to go down there, like you have, like, I think not just in Colorado, but I think goalies, goalie coaching it's tight. I mean, everyone kind of knows each other, obviously.
Yeah.
But you kind of want to, like, you want to be involved in that individual's life a little bit. So for me to get that opportunity, having his dad let me be involved and hang out with them, and not only just coach him, but, like, be like a mentor to him as well. That's one of the bigger things. And yeah, we kicked it off. We did a 9 hard, which is a 9 week strong program to get him jump started and get him going. And then, obviously life and work kind of comes in the way. So I really haven't had the chance to get him on the ice with a one-on-one like we've done previous. But it showed that he's forgotten the complicated stuff just because it takes time to work on stuff like that. But like
Yeah.
the simple stuff, he did really well, look well. 3 games, that's including the state championship game. So, like, they have a backup goalie, so they'll flip flop. And so the backup goalie that isn't playing that game will skate out because their team needs skaters. So G played well. 3 games, 3-0. I think his goals against is probably like 2 to 3. Um, Save percentage, at least. I mean, I would say like a 890 or 900 or something. I mean, he looked good. He looked solid.
Yeah.
One state championship, and that goes back to my point of, like, I was able to coach him to that level and to a championship. And I didn't. I mean, we did it without a big goalie, structure, big goalie program. You know what I mean? So, yeah, kind of meant a lot to me as my uh, first high school championship that I was able to be involved in. So
Yeah, that's unreal, and like I like to go with that approach too, where it's like you're forming that like personal connection with with your goalie that you're training, because like because ultimately it's like about like trusting the other person, and you do that by creating like that relationship, that bond, that like know that that they're gonna do everything that they can, and have the trust in you that you're gonna give them everything that they have. And like that's kind of like the same situation like I'm in. Like my goalies for like my high school team that I'm coaching up here in Chicago, like they're going to the state championship this coming
Gotcha.
weekend. So we so I guess we both have that on a resume, where
Right.
we both help send the team to a state championship.
No, 100%. And I mean, at the end of the day, like, so that's, that's the beginning. So I have to remind myself, like, yeah, it's just one championship.
Yeah.
I still want to be involved. I mean, I've been talking, just, with my teams that I currently play for now. And, I kind of gave them the heads up, like, yeah, I'm probably going to stop playing beer league as well. And I'm going to kind of focus my coaching or my extracurricular time on coaching full time. And, haven't really been talking to anyone here locally in Colorado, but I'm pretty sure there's programs out there that would love to have a goalie coach that would need one, but also at the same time a goalie coach that I'll stick to the roots of the game. I'll be
Yeah.
honest, and I'll make sure that they get a because like I don't want kids and parents, especially the parents, they're the ones forking out the money, right? Paying like 110, 120 an hour, like one on one, like the
Yeah.
sport is already expensive enough. I mean, the NHL is pushing this agenda like hockey's for everyone, but then they'll go out and charge $250 for a stick, $120 for a helmet, no visor, no cage, and so like want to make it affordable for especially goalies. I mean, goalie gear, you already know, like
Yeah.
it's absolutely insane right now. But yeah, like push that full time after. So once I'll be 34 this coming April, and then 35 next April, and then excuse me, once I turn 35, I'll uh I'll hang up the pads, but I won't hang up the skates. So it's called growing up. My hips already hurt. My body's already aching after just like a beer league game, So yeah, it's gonna be bittersweet, but I mean I'm still gonna be able to skate, be on the ice, and I'm gonna find a organization or find a team that I can, step in with. And my credentials aren't much. Like I said, I'm not, the best goalie by all means, but my mindset, and I think if I just give coaching 100% instead of like coaching, beer league, work, and then kind of just
Yeah.
and juggling too much is what I'm trying to avoid. So
Yeah, so it's gonna make you put all your work and like every effort that you have the power to do is just into coaching. And like hopefully like you played at a high level, you played in the M-Dub, you played everywhere. So it's like just use those experiences to help the younger generation to learn what you did throughout your career, and like some of the things that you probably wish you would have known before you
yeah,
got up to that level. And just to help them, and help the students that you're mentoring just
yeah,
be successful and do everything that they can to push their careers even further.
yeah. And yeah, one thing on that is be a good teammate, because I can tell you right now firsthand, I
Yeah.
definitely wasn't. So that's why nobody wanted me. That's why I played everywhere in the whole goddamn North America. But yeah, yeah, for sure, that's 100%. And I want to bring the agenda, my own goalie agenda, and hopefully some so associations will kind of pick up on it and like it. And but yeah, that's one thing is that I want to pass on, because of my knowledge and my ignorance from when I was a kid, is be a good teammate, support each other, and be a kick-ass goalie. So
Oh yeah, the keys to a successful goaltending right there, all within 3 points right there.
yep, that's all it is. It's all you need.
Oh
Keep
yeah,
it simple.
exactly. That's the name of the game. And like just going back to like the development a little bit here, like just seeing like the kids develop from like when you first start working with them to where they end up like at the end of the season, like the progress is huge. Like I'm sure
Yeah,
you could say the same thing, but like the progress I've seen from my goal is just huge. Like we really focus on like the simple things and like the fundamentals, because that's what it's all about just like we said, keep it simple, and that's what it's all about. And we just hammered those, and then transferred into all of my goalies' game situations, and they've they're in the state championship now. And my mites goalies that I was working with, it's like my 6 and 7 year olds, like you just see that they're having fun, and like at that
Yeah.
age, that's all that really matters. And they stop the puck, and we just shoot the puck at them right wherever, and
Yeah.
then they learned be successful that way.
Yeah. No, 100%. And then, that just goes back to keep it simple and keep it relatively, and what you're just saying with their growth, and it's kind of cool because like not only as a hockey player, because there's the bigger pictures, bigger than the game itself. And
Yeah.
to see him, like I teach him, like, be polite, be kind, you introduce yourself, you meet new coaches, shake their hand, eye contact, and just the way you carry yourself off the ice. I mean, I can tell you by all means I wasn't the best at doing that because I have social media platforms, um, and it's one thing to be within lines of appropriate, and then within lines of being a complete jackass and an
Yeah.
asshole. And I wish I could have, buckled down a little bit better, when I was playing. But I think most teams, or some specific individuals, saw just my grit. They saw the way I played, and I didn't back down. Um, I didn't want to get pushed around. And so I'm trying to teach my 14 that. I've got one kind of like floating right now. I don't know if he's gonna do just in-house hockey or if he wants to go club, but um, he's the same way. He likes to open his mouth and not think about what he's saying, and that's exactly how I was. And we're trying to reel that in a little
Yeah.
bit, and kind of tame that a little bit, because nowadays it's not what it's who and a lot of coaches probably know you know who's his goalie coach, and or who, what do they do, what's their program. And then it's a reflection on me, is how I can teach that individual um the correct way and the appropriate way to carry yourself. And I think what I'm working on with my 14 is we're working on the game, but we're also working on your off ice demeanor, your off ice attitude. So yeah, but yeah, no, it's 100% agreed.
Yeah, and you never know who's watching, who's there, and you do something stupid, and everyone's gonna know about it, whether it be just one person there. They of course know everyone, and then it's just gonna go. Not gonna get any more opportunities than you might not already have, and by doing
Yeah,
that, you're just messing yourself up.
yeah, 100% agreed.
Yeah, but for those that are new here and haven't seen any of the other episodes with Shieldsy, he played in the MWHL with the Barracuda, and I believe some other teams as well. So like, just give like a quick rundown of like your time in the MW and just playing for the Barracuda and everything.
Yeah, I'll keep it pretty short because I know, like I said, nobody wanted me on their team because I like to run my mouth a little bit too much, and express my frustrations in a verbal manner. But no, I started with the Vigilantes in 2013, um, and then I went to Utah Spiders, and then I had a little stint with Vail Yeti and the MW BDHL, and then from there, was in a lot of cool memorial games, a lot of tournaments for beer league, but they're like high competitive open. They so in states like Idaho, Nebraska, they call it like an open division. I'm heavily involved with the White Winfield Be Tough tournament in Helena, Montana. So I love doing that one a lot. That's pretty close, and obviously I was able to meet those folks years ago, through a good buddy of mine, Dax played pro in Germany. And then yeah, my last two years kind of were, one was cut off short because of COVID, and then I was able to come back a little bit here and there. and be involved in with the Fort Worth Barracudas. And yeah, that team is special to me because we had a few coaches or a couple coaches come in and out, but at the end of the day, I think with that team, their GM kind of saw just who I was, and he kind of appreciated some grit from a goalie. And then we brought in Bryce. Bryce basically came in when I left, when I exited, and then we've always had that team. We had Josh Messick, so pretty good goalie tandem, goalie partners. I know there's one other goalie I'm kind of forgetting about. I can't really remember his name, but yeah, no, it was fun, man. Had my e-bug experience in the CHL in 2017, so that was a lot of fun. And out of that experience, and that weekend, I've got a long friend now, Carzy. So obviously Car's been on the pod, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's cool, man. Like, just kind of throw my name around a little bit, but yeah, it's kind of where I've been, what I've done. I've been a part of a lot of cool special games to me that mean a lot to me. Yeah. And so like, I get it. Yeah, it's kind of, my career in 5-10 minutes. Like it's just crazy where the game can take you.
Yeah.
If you network yourself appropriately. And like I said, like I use my social media platform to kind of like market myself. I didn't hire anyone. I didn't have anyone that was behind me. um I had some teammates that liked the way I rolled. And I had a lot of teammates that didn't like me. So and there's reason for it. And obviously
Yeah.
it was just because I was very, at that time, I was mid-20s, and I cared about the game, I cared about the team. And some instances I looked at it in a selfish type of manner, and it is what it is. But yeah, it was fun. Now I'm getting old, so
Yeah, but great experiences in the MWHL and just
yeah.
playing the game at a high level, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was fun. That was when the MW was in its prime. It was, and it still is now. Like I still watch, like clips of like the Breck Vipers and Val Yeti and
Yeah.
Jackson Hole, Bozeman Stingers. Like I still watch some of it. So yeah, it's in a good spot. I think the game is going in the right direction. We're bringing in new people. The league's bringing in new kids. Um, but yeah, it's I think the league's in a good spot, and to be part of it, maybe one day we'll see. But Colorado teams, they don't like me because I'm very verbal. So
Yeah, but hey, you played, you're ratired from those leagues, so as of right
yep.
now. And so
That'll stay
like
that way. I'm
I've
not gonna go back. Becky, come on, buddy.
yeah, it'll stay that way. But I was like, before I made I signed in the Michigan Independence Hockey League in the middle. I was looking
Mhm.
at like some teams in the MW, and but ultimately I went for the Michigan Independent League because it's like there's a bunch of like federal FPHL teams, SPHL teams like right there. So it's
Yeah.
that made my decision to go in the MI to play there. But it's been a great experience like you had in the MW, playing
Mhm.
for the Blue Water Stars in Port Huron, Michigan. Play we're an expansion team, so we've only played like half the schedule so far compared to other
Okay.
teams, so that's been a bit of a struggle in the standings. But hey, we're an expansion team, and we're starting brand new. And
Great.
like it's good to see the game growing and everything, like throughout like any league you go in, like seeing expansion teams and everything. Like it's just good that the game's growing, and it gives other players the opportunity to come in and play.
Right. No, 100%. You guys, I've been seeing some of your clips. You kind of feel bad for you getting peppered every now and then, huh?
Yeah, but it's fun. Like it's a learning experience for sure. Every time that I step on the ice, like I know I'm gonna get a lot of shots. Like it helps for my development, since like I've only been goalie for what 6-7 years now. So like never played like juniors, college, or anything like that. So it's good to get at like a pro level just to get those kind of shots right away and just to be able to develop and learn from those experiences, especially like in the minor leagues. You know how it is. Like anything
Right.
can like it's just wild, and you can get peppered with shots 60 plus a night, which I've been facing pretty consistently.
I've been seeing it. I kind of feel bad for you. I know those games.
I think my lightest number so far was 52, and but everything else has been 58, 62, 69, 64, 75. So it's been
Yeah,
all over the board.
that's fucking absolute. I'd be dead after 60, let alone 75. So
And we got a point that night that I faced 75 shots. So I went 71 of 75 and forced a 5-4 shootout loss, unfortunately.
hey, you gotta take them with a grain of salt. Sometimes those are the ones that are bitter. I get it. I mean, that's just it's my little beer league stint lately. Past three games. Right now we're on a skid. So, but that's between two teams. First one was 1-0. Second game 2-1, and then third game 1-0. So we're struggling offensively. It sucks for me because we're there,
Yeah.
like we know obviously like how to put pucks in the net, and we just haven't been doing it. So yeah, those 1-0 games, they're brutal, and especially in beer league, it's like, how do you not score a fucking goal in beer league? And mind you,
Yeah.
it's a B division, um, and yeah, it's kind of like just mind boggling. Like, dude, just one fucking goal, it's all I need. Like, and I'm like, if I go to a shootout, I can handle it in a shootout, but
Yeah.
that's because I love shootouts. But yeah, it's just I'm on a skid. We play tonight. Obviously, that's why we're trying to make this quick. But yeah, I think tonight we're trying to bust a skid, and I'm trying to bust a personal 3-game losing skid right now.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully.
Oh yeah. Hopefully you get that win. But like my team in Blue Waters, we're coming very close to a win here. Like every game we get better and better. And like we're putting 60 minutes, like 60 minutes of worth of hockey like together like every single night. Like our first game to where we are now, like the changes that we've made to help us get to where we are has been crazy. And like you can see the difference. You can see that every one of us, everyone on the team has heart, and that we're all giving 110% every time we step on the ice. So we're definitely getting closer to a win, and that first win will feel nice, that's for sure.
Well, you better be in between the pipes to get it, buddy. I believe you guys can do it. Just it takes time. I've been there, so it's a
Oh yeah.
struggle.
It's a work in progress though, but like the talent in the league is also like insane. Like every person I've talked to from like the league from like years before, like yeah, the league is the talent just keeps getting better and better. Like we have like I'm pretty sure every team has like probably two, three, four guys that played in the Fed, the SB, some in the coast. So it's just the talent wise is insane too, and it
Yeah.
keeps getting better and better every single week.
No, I hear you. Yeah. How's you guys' goalie tandem? You guys doing all right?
Yeah, so we have three goalies. We have me and then two other guys, and like we both get along we all get along really well. Like it's just like all three of us gives the team a chance to win. So there's nothing more you can ask for, and like we're all battlers. We're all gonna like go through a brick wall for each other, and we're all gonna try to do whatever we can to help the team get a win.
There you go. Good. It's all that matters. Good goalie partners, and a good base. It'll grow. I believe in it for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But to move on from here, the NHL, like we talked about at the beginning of the episode, has shifted dramatically in the last couple weeks since the trade deadline, with everyone going to different teams, goalies going to different teams. So like what has been like or like what have you thought of the trades that happened at the deadline there?
Um, I've kind of been on and off with it. I followed it hard last year, like
Yeah.
for a good consistent 3 weeks. This year, kind of been like on and off, but I've obviously like I'll get updates, via Twitter, or Insta, whatever. But the one that kind of like really caught me was Canner going to New York, and I was surprised from my team here locally, the Avalanche. I'm surprised we didn't go out and get Jenner from Columbus, and we never stayed consistent with Van Riemsdyk that I thought we were going to get. We added one, on our fourth line, Lars Eller from Washington. I think he'd be a good addition, just because I'm obviously watching the game here. They're playing Montreal, just
Yeah.
fucking beating the bags off them right now. It's like 6-1. But yeah, that one kind of the Canner trade, had me thinking why, New York, but obviously Canner, I was watching a documentary on YouTube, how like the Chicago Blackhawks have like a season and episode now. So like they film like, behind the scenes stuff,
Yeah.
and it takes work. Like I've seen like these guys, these agents, and then these directors and these people that work for the team, the organization, and they're on the phone, they're off the phone. They talk to 8 or 9, 10 different people in one day, and then it's just so crazy that on the documentary, you can probably look it up after this, but you know they played uh, San Jose or LA, and then after the game, Kaner's not at the hotel, so like you see him getting, drove off in one of their shuttles, and he flies back to Chicago. The team didn't know, what's going on. No news broke of his trade officially. So, as a player of that caliber and that skill, and has been a Blackhawk for so long, he's sitting in limbo. He's sitting at home, kind of just waiting for work and the contract to go through, and then once they make it happen, I wish it was treated well from organization, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it's like your goodbye is a phone call, and it's like, hey, conversation went along the lines like, my success as a director, as a member, working on the front office for the Blackhawks is like, you gave me my livelihood, you gave me a check, you kept things interesting, you were, a superstar or franchise player, so to speak. And it's a phone call. It's like, hey, see you later. Like,
Yeah.
thanks for everything. Thanks for my 2 Stanley Cup rings. But no, man, like it's good. I think it's good for the league. It's now all these good guys are going, to good teams, or going to teams that are in building stages. Obviously the Avalanche, you got Lars Eller. And then like the one biggest one that I was kind of surprised was Tyler Bertuzzi going to
The
Boston
Bruins.
from
Yeah.
Detroit.
That's a
And
huge
like I
pickup for
don't
them.
yeah, and I'm like, okay, well, so you just added grit to your back end. You got a good, I think what Bertuzzi's a D guy, I believe, or
I
forward,
think he's forward.
forward, and then not only is a forward, but like he's a grinder. You've seen in the past 3 years, like him and Marchand, they fucking absolutely hate each other. So like I'm curious to see what how that's gonna work, and how that's gonna carry on with this time as a Boston Bruin. But yeah, it's crazy. Bertuzzi's a good player too. So
Yeah.
hopefully he can. I mean, obviously he's been good with them so far. He's got some points on the board, keeping them in just battling every single night for wins. And I mean, what are they now? 51-5-3 or something.
Something crazy.
It's
I think they're
something.
coming up
Well,
on the
they already
record
they're the
soon.
first. Yeah, hit the first playoff spot. So they just clinched last Friday or last Thursday or something
Yeah.
like that. So 105 points. Their goalie tandem, they're absolute wagon of a fucking tandem. You got Hallmark and Swayze in there. Yeah, they're an absolute wrecking ball right now, and I'll be surprised, because me and my buddies were just talking about this the other night. Is I would be absolutely shocked if they get a first round exit come playoff time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
that's
think
gonna be interesting.
they're definitely gonna do big things this year. And like you always hear how like good teams like this will either get bounced in the first or second round. I don't see that happening. But again, playoff hockey,
Put a
like you
wager
never
on
know
it.
what's
How
gonna happen.
right? You want to put a wager on it or what? Decky, you want to lose some money to me or what?
I would win that. I would win that wager, 100%.
Oh, oh, looks like we have to put down a 20 piece, buddy.
All right, I'm down with that. I
20
fully
bucks. All
believe
right.
in the Bruins.
I say they're
Wagering
out.
live on the podcast.
There you go. 20 bucks cash. they will get bounced first round or second in 5 or 7 games.
I say they're going to at least the third round. Hopefully win the Stanley Cup, but if they make it to the third round, you owe me $20.
Deal. Done.
Got it.
Handshake.
There we go. But yeah,
Nice.
that Bertuzzi trade, like it definitely with Marchand and Bertuzzi, you got two guys that aren't afraid to drop the gloves now. And like even though like that whole team would drop the gloves for any of those guys, like you know
Yeah.
how strong like teams like that are, they're gonna go through a wall for anyone. But like just to have those two guys that can really give her like you like
Yeah.
I would be afraid. I'd be terrified to play that team right now.
No, 100%. And I honestly thought the Islanders, I mean, I'm a big, obviously I've said it on the pod before, but I'm a huge Russian goalie guy. I
Sorokin?
thought they would get Sorokin, Varley's technically a 1B just because of his age. He's getting up there.
Yeah.
But I was surprised that they didn't add or get any considerations or rounds or acquisitions, let alone just a fucking simple, like conditional third in 2025 or you know what I mean, just a certain pick for someone. I think the Avalanche gave up the second round next year for Lars Eller, and then some of his salary is retained from the cap. So that's another thing is Washington, they're falling apart. Like Backstrom hasn't played, Kuznetsov hasn't played, Ovi's just putting pucks in the net. Oshie's getting up there. So yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised Washington's gone as far as and like put it this way, like they were in the playoff hunt and now they're a wild card. Like
Yeah.
if you
That's
look at the
crazy.
standings, dude, yeah, it's not like all these top teams that were good last year are now like battling and they're barely surviving for a wild card spot. And it's like, look at the Avalanche. 4 or 5 weeks ago, we were in a wild card spot.
Yeah.
And do look at the points, it's from 79 to 87, 88, and it's a 1 point difference. Like you can literally in the Western Conference, everyone's like, speed bag in the fucking West, but it's like, the West it's not as good as it used to be last year, but everyone's within 1 point of each other.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get worse because now you look at Colorado, they've got like 14 games, 15 games on hand after tonight's game. And then, but they have a game ahead. So like all these other teams are going to be done playing. So then we have an advantage to get more points, but it's not like you can, get on a 3-game heater and then you're up 6-8 points. No, like you're winning 3 games in a row just to stay in contention of a top 3 or top 2 in the division. So yeah, it's curious to see how all that's going to play out. I'm excited as an Avalanche fan because when we were on that 2-12 and the last 14 or 12 games, everyone's like, oh, Avs are out, they're going to get bounced, like Stanley Cup to not even making playoffs. But now they're finding it. Obviously they're finding it with Montreal just fucking speed bagging them. It's hilarious. But yeah, I don't know. I think, but there's a lot of teams like, Anaheim's going to be good. Montreal is going to be good. Seattle is still battling for a playoff spot right now. Chicago is just a laughing stock, but I can't speak for your team, so I won't do that.
Definitely a sad time to be a Hawks fan.
I can tell. Yeah, a close buddy of mine, Matt Egan, I call him Eggs. He's from Chicago. He grew up playing in Chicago, and I was like, we were having beers this past weekend on Sunday, and we're watching his daughters play in the U14 state, and I'm like, what's it like to be a Chicago fan? And he's like, it's absolutely miserable. So I'm drinking fucking 6 beers a night. I was like, well, better fucking get your shit together and find a different team or just become a bandwagon fan. But yeah, it's curious. I mean, the bottom 10 of the league will be good next year for sure, 100%.
Yeah, it's crazy how much like you said, bottom 10 could be a contender next year. Like you just continue to see like that trend where it's like the bottom teams are going to go like do something big in the off season, or whether they already did it at the trade deadline to help them in the next season, just to be able to just do something really good, and then put together a solid team to go on that playoff run the following year.
Right, exactly, 100%.
What do you think about Jonathan Quick going to Vegas?
So like, I think the quick trade was done or handled, and not everyone's cup of tea, and obviously he wasn't happy about it, but I don't think I mean, let's fast forward or rewind a little bit. He was a Columbus Blue Jacket for a little bit, right? So they had,
The blue I love the Blue Jackets like social media team. They're like, thank you,
yeah,
Jonathan Quick, number 32, the best we've ever had, or something like that.
yeah, I never hit the ice, not once. Like it was like what the fuck, but yeah, honestly, and like even then, like you have that. So they gave him what, a conditional or even like a second round pick or third round pick.
Yeah, I think
But then
so.
like you traded Quick for Corbusallo, and I'm like, dude, Jonas is like he's never been like a consistent, 1A goalie. So it's kind of that's like a slap in the face. But no, I mean, we'll see. LA should be able to, or LA should be, pushing. They're still, I think, in the chase for a playoff spot. I think Vegas is only going to get fucking better. Like, you
Yeah,
basically had Laurent Brossois, you had Logan Thompson, and you have Aiden Hill. Now, with Quick in the mix, you send down, uh, Brossois, and then to the A, but then you have a hurt Logan Thompson. So then Aiden Hill is your 1B. Um, do I think they're going to get far with a 1B that is non consistent? Probably not. But you have to just hope and pray that Quick stays healthy,
yeah.
and he's able to carry those guys, because I can guarantee you put Aiden Hill in that for a fucking playoff game, I don't think it's gonna go well. And that's even hoping Logan Thompson even comes back. But even then, like the dude's battled, he knows how to battle. But I don't think Logan Thompson is yet playoff ready, if that makes sense, just from what I've seen, the games that I've seen. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. That's kind of like the last big goalie trade was between Columbus and LA and now Vegas. So
Yeah.
like I said, you're stretching out all these good players in the league now to either like decent teams or the teams that are trying to get up to snuff and be competitive. But yeah, the league's stacked now. Like you're spread out on the same plane. Um, and like I said, like it's the bottom 10. They're not even close to a playoff spot, but everyone else, like they're chasing right now, and they're in the hunt, and they're probably out. I think on the East, I think the Islanders were out 3 points. I think so. That's still like even close. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean it'll be fascinating to see. I'm interested for this year's playoff run and who's going to make it and who's not. I'm going to be very surprised if teams that did make it last year are now not making it this year at all. So yeah, I mean, I think the NHL is in a good spot. I think Bettman's still a fucking piece of shit, but that's never going to change ever. Um, but yeah, like I'm curious to see, and obviously, like I just looked at the score in Montreal, Colorado. We're speed bagging them at 7-2 now. So, yeah, I think our team, Colorado, they're in a good spot. Like I said, previous in the pod, like I wish they would have gone out and got a big name like Jenner or Van Riemsdyk. I think we were still like in talks with Kevin Hayes. See Kevin Hayes become an Avalanche for a year would have been fucking sweet to see. With our current players, I don't think EJ will be back after this year. He's getting hurt again. He's out for like 2 weeks, I think. Landeskog, knee injuries. It was a non-hockey injury. So like, he's battling back. So everyone's in Montreal right now, but EJ and Landy, they were on the ice this morning, doing, drills and getting back up and getting the rust off. But I don't think those two guys will be back, but I think that's why we picked up Lars Eller. Um, as much as it breaks me to say, I've even met Sam Gerard. I've met him a couple times. Super cool cat. but for being a defenseman, and I tower over the dude like in person, he like just with like just straight clothes. He's like 5'8", dude. And I'm like, I fight dude, like I'm like, dude, as a defenseman in the league, like I don't know how he's gotten this far.
Yeah.
Like I said, super cool guy off ice. Like I would honestly any like fuck if he was like, hey, you want to go hang out? 100%. Like, dude, you're a cool dude. But like as a hockey player, I'm just like, I don't see it. I thought we were going to get rid of him and get a big name. I thought we were going to get rid of Bo Byram for a big name. And obviously everyone else, you're not going to get rid of McCarr. You're not going to get rid of Mac. I was surprised, honestly, dude. That's one I forgot about, how we get rid of one of our best D guys that we've had in our system, Andreas England, and we give him up for Jack Johnson. Like I did not see that. I was like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, you give up an absolute 6'4", 6'3", 6'4" wrecking
A
ball
big
of a
guy
fucking
too.
a
Yeah.
big dude. He has grit. He's got hands. He's not afraid to drop them. And then you go get Jack Johnson, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like, I was kind of bummed on that trade a little bit, but it'll be fun to see. It'll be cool to see where we stack up once the regular season is just over, and then I think what's like you have like 5 days or 7 days, and then the playoffs started.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. It'll definitely be a interesting time come playoff time, especially because honestly, any team at this level, at this rate, can win a playoff series. Doesn't matter if they're ranked 1, 8, whatever. Like any
yeah.
team can win a playoff game in a playoff series. So it's gonna be a fun playoff series in the NHL for sure this year. And I
Oh,
can't wait
this
to watch those games.
yeah, yeah. I'm excited, dude. Like I said, I mean, I'm kind of like low key. No one really even knows it either. But like my favorite, if I had to pick a top three, it'd be obviously Montreal is my number two. Avs are my number one. But Calgary is my three, and I love Calgary. I mean, not just because he went to like I was a Calgary fan, or like a bandwagon, whatever you want to call it, for like 4 or 5 years, just because I'm a big Markstrom fan. I think
Yeah.
Markstrom just like he's a tall, gritty goalie,
He's an athletic
good
guy,
style.
athletic freak.
Oh yeah, and like if he can just like dial it in a little bit and be like a tall, like a tall athletic Vasilevsky, because
Yeah.
he's got the height, he's got the size, right? But like if he can just like reel it in and just get a little bit better. I mean, he's making what, like 8 mil a year, I think, or some shit
Something
like
like
that.
that.
But and they were just talking about it. It's like, dude, you have he's making 6 to 8 a year. You got Bobrovsky is making fucking 10 mil a year. And then you have all these upcoming goalies, like who they were just comparing them to. Linus Allmark from Boston.
Yeah.
Allmark's making 5.1 million a year, and he's leading the goalies in
That's
GAA,
crazy.
save percentage, wins, shutouts. Like it's like now, okay, I think they're setting the precedent, they're setting the standard for what is median and what is not going to hurt cap space, but
Yeah.
also like Allmark's like, well, I'm doing it for half of what Bobrovsky's doing it for, and Bobrovsky's not even a top 10 goaltender. Like
Give
it's
Allmark a
just
paycheck.
yeah, like this year, I think Boston will re-sign him for like I think they'll probably go for like a for 5 for 40 mil. So 5 years, 40 mil. So probably about
Yeah.
8 mil a year. So that'd be cool to see. But yeah, I think Markstrom needs to buckle it down, because when they do, or if he does, excuse me, I think Calgary would be dangerous. But I was just watching a game at their bar in the Saddle Dome, and they're on a skid. They're like 1-4 in the last
Oh,
5. And I'm like, dude, like you have Markstrom in net every single game. Vladar is no question an AHL goalie. His shakiness and like his reaction to the puck in the NHL, like you can see it. You know what I mean? He gets
yeah.
rattled, but like you need him to come up big in games, and he did against Nashville. He's done it against Ottawa, which Ottawa is, like I said, not the greatest team, but like they shoot from every angle, right? So, yeah, I got my eyes on Calgary. to see where they go. And obviously, with Seattle in our division, like they're knocking at the door and they're actually getting better each and every game. So like if we keep winning, I'm not going to be worried about it. But if we start going on like a skid here in the last 14, 15 of the season, then I'll be looking at standings more than once a day. So
Yeah. Just
but
over being that over anxious guy, just continuing to check the standings 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day just to make sure nothing happens.
yeah, exactly. No fucking no surprises. I don't like those.
No, not at all. But my three right now would be obviously the Bruins, Rangers, because I guess I'm a little biased since Kane's there now, so I gotta go
Yeah,
Rangers now, and then just Vegas. Like I don't know what it is,
yeah,
but like I've always had like a thing for like Vegas, and like I always think Vegas is like those underdogs, especially since when they first came in the league and went to the Stanley Cup Finals. Like there's like it just brought me to Vegas since then. But those are my top three for now.
there you go. What about Chicago?
Well, ever since we traded Kane,
Okay,
it's
they're
been
not
going
even close to
downhill.
making it.
Not even close. We're probably 29th in the league or something like that.
30,
Always next
37.
year.
I thought.
Always next year. That's been like
There
a
it is.
trend for the last 4 years though.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. Yeah. But Shieldsy, it's always a pleasure when you come on. Thanks again for
Yeah,
joining the show and go get a win tonight.
I will, dude. Fuck, I'm needing it. I've been hitting Wendy's lemonade and waters all day today, so I'm ready for it. But no, I appreciate it, Dex. Thanks, buddy. Maybe we can hop on and do one once the playoffs are solidified, and we can
Oh
look at
yeah.
brackets. We can kind of see see where everyone is, see where everyone stands, and see how it goes, and yeah, have another
Works
nice
for
little
me.
pod. Maybe we'll make that one a 2 hour pod.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a 2 hour special on that one for sure.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
That's
Dude.
set in stone now.
Yep, there you go. Don't forget our bet too.
I won't. Well, maybe we'll also wager on the next pod too.
We will. I'll throw a little another 10 piece on it. I don't give a shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But go have fun tonight and good luck.
Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you, and have a good season. So do it
Thank
for the
you.
goalies.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's go.